Welcome back to Angel Lori 555. This is going to be a follow-up to the regression that I shared. It was something else. When you listen to the recording, well, actually, it was a full video. What happens is when you get a regression, depending on who you do it with, there's a certain amount of time allotted for you to talk with the hypnotist that and to make sure that they got your questions that you want to ask your higher self at the appropriate time during the hypnotic regression. And also, getting the particulars out of the way. So that's like about an hour or so, or maybe even two. My session ended up being almost a 6-hour session. You got the almost 2 hours of the actual regression, but there was like 2 to 3 hours ahead of time in preparation for it, and then they have to get you into that deep, relaxed, hypnotic state to begin. You start your preparation for a hypnotic regression by whatever your hypnotist gives you, to start preparing your self to allow even the session to happen. You must allow. So you must start talking to your subconscious and preparing for the allowing. So once you do that, then you most likely will be able to be regressed. If you don't prepare yourself, prepare your psyche beforehand, then that's when people run into difficulties with getting someone to that theta state, to be able to speak from your higher elevations of consciousness. So like my other half is like, I can't be hypnotized. It doesn't happen. People have tried it. It doesn't happen. Yeah, it won't happen if you don't allow it. It won't happen if you don't want it to happen. So if you want to be regressed and you want to find out information about, say, prior existences, or maybe it's something from your childhood that you want to delve deeper into and get to the bottom of these mysteries, okay? But you have to want it and you have to allow it. So as in all things, we have free will. You have to grant even permission to yourself. And that's what happened in the first part of that session. Now, I just wanted to break down a few aspects of it. So I'll just play a few aspects and skip to pieces that helped me to be able to really put things together. This was the first part.
Like a borealis kind of light. Orange, reddish, and white.
Okay.
Now, as I'm going into this past existence, at that point in the regression, I'm just under, and she's asking me, what do I see? What it was, I went through a portal. In some sun somewhere. I don't even think it was the portal of this planetary system's sun. I think it was a sun in another planetary system. And because I did tell her during the regression that I don't feel that this is the Milky Way. What I was actually seeing was a giant sun-shaped disc that was emitting waves of various colors of light: red, yellow, violet. All of these lights colors were emitting from this portal. And I traveled through that portal. And as I went through that portal, I actually was entering into another galaxy, planetary system. And I went through that portal as energy. In that first incarnation that I guess my higher self wanted to reveal to me, I was just sheer energy. I did not have a physical body. I was just the embodiment of energy. And I was like a part of the fabric of space. So I was separate, but also a part of it. Like, this shirt is separate, but it's also a part of my outfit today. So let's put it that way to break it down. And when I went through that portal and I entered into this planetary space, there were stars, there were galaxies. Now I'm looking at things from a far off distance. I'm a part of the fabric, but I'm looking at the totality of things presented in front of me, and it literally looked like a plane of existence of many, many galaxies, many, many planetary systems in those galaxies. There were spiral-shaped galaxies all over the place. Some like this, some like this, some like this. They were like positioned all over the cosmos. And in between there, bodies of lights, stars. It was a fantastical view. I can't even really explain it properly. I really wish I had the skills to draw it or the skills to recreate it in like a film format of what I saw. It was better than any Star Wars episode, Enterprise, Star Trek Enterprise. Better than anything we've ever seen in any movie we've ever seen of space. It was better. So in that incarnation, being a fabric, a piece of the fabric of space and time, and out there, I'm saying that basically I'm the eyes of Source. That's my job. I'm monitoring, I'm viewing, I'm watching, and then when I see something change into a color that is not harmonious to the balance, the equilibrium of light and dark, positive and negative, the yin and the yang, then I hone in. And as I'm honing in, it appears in that incarnation, what I'm actually doing is I'm honing in to report. And then I may or may not take action in and of myself. Maybe I get a response back to tell me, yes, go forward. Balance that situation. So it seems that I'm actually a sentinel. I was like a sentinel energy, a watcher. And I'm watching all of these sectors of space and time and the various galaxies and planetary systems within them. That feeling of freedom, I cannot impart to you how wonderful that was. To be so free. And it really seems like in both of the incarnations that I revealed in that regression, I like to be a solitudinal being, because in that space and time, being a piece of the fabric, being a sentinel, watching, reacting, investigating, that seems to be a running theme in my life, because I was a criminal investigator. I was a supervisor of fraud investigators. So that seems to be something that my soul enjoys or cares to participate in, whether I am outside of a body or in a body, it seems, from that aspect. Because I'm like tying things together in my life with those past life experiences that I talked about. Because I always tell people, I don't believe it unless I say it. I don't believe it unless it comes out of my mouth. Well, well, they came out of my mouth. Okay? It came out of my mouth. All of that came out of my mouth. So I can't say I won't believe it because, hey. And in that particular lifetime's experience, I can't even impart to you when the love of the dragons hit me. It was like a wave, a washing, a cleansing, a total envelopment of love. Love like you never felt on this plane of existence. What we call love here, it's not even love. It's like a fake imitation. It's like a really weak tea of what the strength of love and the feeling it is. I mean, seriously, I'm a disembodied being. I'm an energy, and I feel love, and not just love down here on this level, but that interdimensional, intergalactic, celestial being bombardment of love. I can't even explain to you how fantastic that felt. It was magnificent. And oh my God, I mean, talk about embarrassing to be hypnotized and then start crying like a baby. I'm like, oh my, really, Lori? Lori, really? We had to start crying? And I mean, when I woke up from that session, my face was covered. It was just water everywhere. I'm surprised to listen and go, you know what, let's hold on a minute here. Let me grab you a tissue because you're a mess. You've lost it. But, being the professional that she is, she carried on. And, just the level of love that hit me, that wave, was incredible. It was so freeing, so affirming that level of love does exist. A lot of people, when they have their NDEs and they talk about how they feel the love of the beings or the love of Jesus or the love of God, and it's like overpowers them. Yes, that was what I can say. That level is what I felt in that regression, being that energy being. And when the energy of the dragons came over me, because and another part of my higher self said that we're all frequency. We come in with our frequency. It's ours. This belongs to us as a soul, as a being, as an entity. So whether you're in a body somewhere or you're just an energy in space, it seems like you carry that frequency. That frequency is yours, like a sign from the moment that Source Creator creates you. That's your frequency. So it seems like I was out there in the universe and they sensed my frequency and then they came. So it seems like we worked in a cooperation. We were a unit. I'm the sentinel. I'm stationed in a section of wherever, and I'm watching and I'm making sure that all these colors are the right levels, the right balances of stuff. And when I see something wrong, I guess since my eyes go directly to source, what I see, and let me just say in advance, source, sorry for a lot of stuff that you see through these peepers. Oh my God. Anyway, so it seems that, the information goes in and then my frequency radiates it out. And if it's something that I need backup, then the dragons come. And then there was several of them, but they weren't like flesh and blood dragons. They were celestial, etheric energy beings as well. But for me, there was nothing to see. I was just energy like in the shape of the branching energies, like electricity. That was me. But when they came with colors. They came with, you could kind of see their scales, but it's like etheric scales. So you see the imprint of scales in the nothingness of space. And you saw a ridge. Okay. I did my very best to search the internet to find pictures that was as close as possible to what I saw in my regression. Of course, I couldn't nail everything, even though I did nail one. That planet in the second incarnation, when I was like that blue parakeet bird fairy collaboration, that planet, I found it. So when you watch the video, that planet, that huge land, mostly turquoise and a reddish striationed planet, the picture that's there is the planet that I saw. And I was online and I was searching for a turquoise planet with red striations, and Google found a picture. Is like, I don't know, somewhere on Etsy. And it wasn't even like somebody drew it. It was just like a cover picture to an Etsy ad. It wasn't found on Etsy anywhere, just a cover picture. But that, I'm telling you, is the planet that I was on. Is the planet that I saw. That right there. If I could draw, that's exactly what I would have drawn. And also, in the second incarnation, with being the bluebird thing, and then people, want to say, well, you are blue avian. I was blue, in that one. I didn't have skin. All of what we call skin was silky feathers. And I couldn't find the exact blue that I was in that lifetime. It was more like an azure blue mixed with, like, if you know your crayon colors, that what is it called? Like that blue corn color. I don't know. What is the crayon color? I should have looked up Crayola colors. Maize blue or blue corn, something like that. It is a mixture between the azure. It is a mixture between a blue darker than this mouse pad and cornflower. That's the color. A cornflower blue and an azure. So if you can picture a cornflower blue and an azure color, that is the color that I was as a being. And also, there was also multicolored feathers in the plumes of my hairdo, or whatever, my feather do that I had. If I could draw her, and in that incarnation, I felt female. If I could draw her, it would be fantastic, because that'd be one of the most fantastical pictures ever. And so I had skin feathers, and they all covered all of this, and then the plumage out here, and then my body was skin feathered. I had no wings. There was no wings on me, so my body was skin feathered. Let's make that a thing, skin feathering. And my eyes were like a dark azure blue. So all of this kind of blended. I had a beak. And when Alyssa asked me, do you have a beak? I just matter of factly, yes, I have a beak. I should have been I'm like, who is that talking? Because I'm an animated person. I'm sitting here right now, and if I'm telling you, yeah, I had a beak, I'm like, well, I had a what? I had a beak? What the fuck? And I'm like, what does hypnotizing do to you? It really mellowed me the out. I was mellow. I'm not a mellow kind of. Anyway, I was very mellow, and I was like, yes, I have a beak. And I'm like, listening to this, and I'm like, yes, I have a beak. Like, what the fuck? How Anyway, so the beak wasn't like a yellow beak. It was like a shade of blue, beak. So I was primarily this blue skin feathered humanoid being. I believe I had breasts. I did have breasts under my plumage. I don't know if I was an A cup. It was not a lot of breasts, but there was breasts there. So you could tell I was in the image of a female of that species, whatever it is. I won't say blue avian because personally, I don't believe in blue avians. That's just me. People want to call them blue chickens and all of that. I don't even, because of the source that it came from, I don't even want to go there. But for me, I was a blue skin feathered female humanoid being, and beautiful. It was a beautiful look of that blue, and other highlighting colors was turquoise and like a yellow, like a pear yellow. Beautiful. Like in the video, you see the female there, very close to that. Just put more of the blue cornflower and azure, put that in there. Then that will give you a real close concept of what kind of being I was. And when she's talking to me, I'm like, whoa, I'm airborne. Like, dude, are you always airborne, Lori? I'm like, is this like a thing for you? Are you airborne? I was like, well, I don't really have feet. I am airborne. You know, like, it was like, I'm airborne. You know, like, I'm like laughing as I'm listening to this because it's so hilarious to me. It's like a galactic comedy to me, a comedy show of the stuff that I've been getting into, you know, the sketches, the stupidness I've been getting into in the universe, because it seems like my soul likes to do the most out there. And I'm like, okay, in that incarnation as the bird being on this planet, and I didn't name the planet, and I really think out there, like, names is like a concept that we really love the most, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's like a human thing. I didn't really get a name of that planet. But being that bird fairy thing, and I say fairy because of the legs. When I was airborne, it's like my legs were like dangly. They were like human looking legs, but when I'm airborne, they were like withered, tiny, like kind of like up, like my friend at work, Will, you are the best. She was like, well, maybe you were like how like regular birds are. Like when they're doing stuff, their little legs are up. I was like, well, maybe that was it. Maybe my little legs were up. And then later on in the regression, when she told me to go to my house or whatever, and when I actually lowered myself and landed, I was like, oh, I have feet. But they're not feet. I don't know what the hell these things are. They're not feet. I was like laughing when I'm listening to this regression. And I'm like, okay, so from my memory, they were like what my friend Will said. They was kind of like up, but dangling. So they didn't look anything like bird feet or human feet or legs. It was just like dangling. I'm like airborne, you know? And when I landed, and then I guess they extended, then they were like legs. Not like, but still birdie-like, but legs. I had legs. And my feet were bird feet. However, bird feet are bird feet. I didn't have human feet or human toes. I wasn't that kind of a bird, you know? And I walked like a regular person on these birdie legs with birdie toes. So yeah, and I was happy in that incarnation. I just felt free. I think one thing that during the regression in totality, what I told myself was, I don't like to fly, because, and I don't like really to be winged or something like that, because of I've been in, like, I guess, interdimensional or galactic battles in my past. I don't like flying. That's kind of true. No, that's very true. Even when I am astral traveling, I don't fly. I bilocate. I'm here and then I'm there. There's no interim. There's no soaring through space and time or moving on the wind like a bird. No, I'm here and then I'm there. That's it. I don't like flying. In a plane? Sure. Of my own volition? Mm-mm. But I did enjoy being airborne, especially that aerial view to the ground, looking at a crystal city. That was phenomenal. I mean, I'd buy a ticket to see that. So that was pretty interesting. And going back to the first incarnation with the being an energy being and the dragons coming in, and I still feel the joy of the dragons, because I always had a connection to dragons. I even have a animatronic dragon over there. She's pink. This has been since childhood. It's just total love of dragons. So I'm not surprised that during my very first hypnotic regression that those were some of the beings that came to me. I'm not surprised in the least. In fact, I'm very thankful because it tied in to later on, because the regression came first, I believe, and then the other psychics, the independent psychics that I had asked to ask questions to, provide me with answers from, the energies and things that they read and see and feel. I've been tied with dragons since creation, and I think even my higher self said that when Source created me, he created me also with my dragons, and we I guess we move together, we do things together. I guess when I decide I'm I don't know, bored in the etheric and I want to come into a body and have experiences and learn and grow or whatever, that they either come in with me or they basically watch over me as I'm, doing my thing in a body. They watch over me and they guide me and they darn sure protect me. That's for sure. I'm giving dragon energy today, people. Dragon energy. Also with my They Live shirt. They Live. Roddy Piper. Big up to you, brother. And John Carpenter. Truth in your face. If you haven't seen that movie, you got to. They Live. John Carpenter. Starring Roddy Piper. That is the original Matrix. Okay, I'm just telling you. That is the original Matrix kind of line. I'm just telling you. But anyway, so yes, I've been affiliated with dragons, and then when the celebrity psychic told me that, when he was doing my reading, that he saw two gigantic dragons like flanking me, and he was like, "They're bigger than the Game of Thrones dragons, Lori. Aren't you scared? Are you scared?" I was like, "No, I love dragons. I wish I could see them in the physical, like you can see them." What I forgot to ask during that session was, what colors were they? What colors were they? I did reach out to him a couple of months ago to ask, but it was so long ago. He does not remember the specific colors that they were. I just think that would be fascinating to know and to, lock that away, to know what colors they were. But anyway, So being in the etheric and being that energy being, that was very fascinating. And seeing the rip in the fabric of space and time, and determining that something inorganic came through and was eating through that universe and eating through galaxies, wherever I was in space and time. I sincerely hope that whatever that is didn't reach us here. I'm glad it didn't reach us. I'm sure I would have gotten a ooh ooh from my dragons, Lori, you're needed, so yeah, I haven't gotten a shout out from my dragons in our neck of the woods in the galactic here and now, so I guess we're pretty safe. But as we have dumbasses like at CERN and other places trying to rip holes in our space and time so that they can make connections to only God knows what, who knows what they will allow through here. We may be experiencing our own level of that rip in space and time, I don't know. But during the session, I was trying to make out a lot of my inaudibles. It's like I was saying things, but I couldn't understand what I was saying. But I know when I was talking about that space and time, I did say something about I shouldn't have come through. I shouldn't have came through. I shouldn't have came through that rip. Or something like that. And I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean I shouldn't have came through? It didn't say it came through. I shouldn't have came through. So I don't know, people. Well, I don't know. That's going to be another regression session. But going back over the things of what I was talking about, I came here, I gave permission, and I also told people I will only believe that I came here and this ain't a prison planet for me, that I was insane because I did something wrong and I got to pay penance if I say I agreed to come here, and did not say that in the regression. I came here to share my golden light. What is golden light? What are beings of the golden light? Because it went on to talk about bloodlines and golden light and this, that, and the other. So I've been researching. Now, I was watching one of the people that I do enjoy watching podcasts of, Aurora Phoenix, and I was watching her, and it was just yesterday. She was talking about Shiva, and Shiva said that he was born of the golden light. When I heard that, I was like, what? What? Did she golden light? So I asked a question. I put it in the chat because it was live, and she explained a little bit about golden light. And Shiva was created from the golden light. So I'm like, I got to do a little bit more research on golden light. I mean, I said, what is the golden light, or the people of the golden light? What is the golden light structure in DNA? That fascinates me. Because remember, the very first person that ever did a reading on me and pulled cards during that Zoom meeting of her group was my friend Misha Johnson. And one of the cards that she did pull said, superior DNA. Guess that's the golden light structure? I don't know. But I really found out a lot of answers, especially like regarding the things that went on in the family home on Needham Avenue. That place is a nexus. As a kid, there was so much going on. I didn't even really tell my friends on the block what was really going on in that house, the energies, and that my mom was abducted from that house. Thank goodness that when the Grays or whoever came for her, because she did say it was Grace. And she said it was 3 Grays that came for her. It appears my subconscious said they did not come for me. They did not come for my 2 baby sisters that night that we was in the house. There's a Syrian being that was in the house, but that was attached to my mom. Maybe that was someone that watched over her. Apparently, my higher self said that my mother agreed to provide genetic information to the galactic beings that took her whole life. So I just say that's a cautionary tale. When you are a soul and you're going to come into a body, be careful about allowing genetic information sharing, because that translates into abductions in my book. So, when you're ticking off your list in the spirit, go get a cup of coffee when it comes to asking about sharing genetic information or helping with the hybrid, creations and stuff like that. Now, as far as the hybrid creation stuff goes, everybody I know who's done a reading on me, they've told me that no, I wasn't a part of that. But one of my friends who is a shaman, and I consider him a very powerful shaman, said that, yeah, he saw that for me. So that bears maybe a little bit deeper investigation, even though my higher self said it was not allowed. And even my higher self said she feels that it's allowed, but we said it's not allowed. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep exploring that. One thing I can say is I believe I did get confirmation for myself that no, I was not utilized in any secret space program. It was asked about my mom. Well, it was asked about my mom, and it didn't appear that she was involved in any of that. She just had her own hot mess with dealing with giving eggs and stuff. So I don't think I believe I asked. I believe that was one of my questions. I don't know if it was specifically asked. I'd have to go back over the regression. But it appears that I have not been utilized in secret space program. They not broken me down and sexually abused me, put me in satanic rituals and all that a lot of my friends have endured. God bless them. They are real survivors and warriors here. Those are the strong souls that are here helping out, because those are not lessons I want to learn. To be honest, they're just not. I really appreciate the professionalism of the young woman that regressed me. That was Alyssa Herrera. She no longer does regressions, which is a great loss. It's a great loss to us all, because she does wonderful work. And she was like one of the only people approved by my crew to allow to delve into my subconscious. I'm hoping maybe the video will encourage her to perhaps consult with her team, and in her new journey, maybe go back to it just a bit when called. We all have to do our own journeys, but yeah, the journey with her, that was an exciting thing. I'm going to schedule other regressions, but it's very difficult to find who you will go into agreement with to protect your soul as you are exploring. You just can't let everybody into your subconscious. You just can't. So I'm still on the search. Here where I live in Greensboro, I've explored a regression center. I'm looking into credentials and commentary from people who have utilized their regression services. So we shall see if that journey is allowed to continue, because I do have way more questions. There's still way more fantastic phenomena that's happened to me that I need to go more into me and let my higher self reveal more information. And yeah, I'd like to know way more past lives. I've had a psychic draw for me several of my incarnations, and she did a few of my galactic ancestors, and she also did some of my guides. So that was a fantastic drawing. I'm hoping I'll be able to put it up here for you. I have to search it down, But that was a fantastic drawing. Then I also had another existence from another psychic, a really good friend of mine, Zoe, and she saw me as a Lyran being, Lyran High Priestess being, warrior, Illyria warrior priestess being, you know, and I kind of see me in this physical suit in that incarnation, because I do have leopardy. I don't know if you can see it. I have leopardy at my temples. It's leopardy, you know, and I'm a freckles girl, but you'll never see my freckles. But yeah, so I have like these leopardy freckles at my temples. And when I saw what incarnation that she drew, it resonated, that Lyran being. And also, I want to explore more about this angelic father, because I've had more than several confirmations that my father is angelic, is an angelic energy, an angelic being, and my mother is a Pleiadian being. So, but the angelic father has been told to me several times. And to know that when I got hit by the car, when I was at, you know, I was a fraud investigator in the field, and my friend Christina, when we got hit by the cars in the corner and she went one way and I went the other, he was on my side. He was right here. As soon as I hit the ground, because I was completely awake and I flew through the air, I landed, and he was right here. Right here. Lori, you're going to be okay. I saw everything. The ambulance has been called. Just lay still. Don't get up. And, you know, if you see my prior video where I pretty much tell him where to go and how to get there, and I'm not a nice person laying on the nasty ground of the Bronx. I'm a germaphobe, and all I wanted to do is get up. Now I understand why I didn't get up. Because like I said in the previous video, talking about that specifically, every fiber of my being wanted to get up off that nasty ground, laying there in the street, in the nasty South Bronx, the South Bronx, nasty ground, hit by two cars impacting, and one hitting me and one hitting my friend, my partner, my coworker. And all I wanted to do was get up, grab my credentials that I could find if anybody stole them or not, and go find out what happened to Christina, because she went down a whole other side of the block. People didn't even know she existed. And I'm like, now I can understand why I didn't get up, because it always worked on my nerves why I didn't get up. Why didn't I get up off the ground? Although if me getting up off the ground, I would have died. Understand that. I understand that. I would have died. The hospital, they took the x-rays. The doctor told me with the fractures to my tibia and fibula, if I would have stood up, it would have went into my femoral artery. I would have bled out before they could have even got me to the hospital. He said most likely I would have bled out in the ambulance or on the street. He said, we would not be having this conversation right now. And all I wanted to do was get up. All I wanted to do was stand up off the nasty ground and live my life. And that's exactly what I fully intended to do, until this guy in a cop uniform with azure blue eyes. In fact, it was the same kind. He had a cerulean blue eyes. Kind of reminds me of the feathered fairy being. But yeah, he had cerulean blue eyes. I was more like a cornflower azure color. But I didn't get up. And even to this day, I still don't understand why I didn't get up, because this was a stranger to me. Why would I listen to this guy? I didn't feel any pain. I was never in any pain. I didn't feel any pain from the impact of being hit by a car. I didn't feel any pain in my bones breaking inside of my left leg. I felt no pain. I felt normal. I felt like I could get up, tell him off, tell everybody else off standing around, just gawking at the girls laying in the street hit by the car, Nobody else came over to help. Nobody else came in, are you okay, sweetie? No! It was just this cop. This cop was right on my shoulder, right by my side. Didn't leave my side until the ambulance came. Then after the ambulance came and the beautiful team, they, people got me on. Even though I had to share my ambulance with one of the guys that hit me. I wanted to get up and punch him in the face. But I didn't see him anymore. He was nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be located. Never existed in the court trial. Nothing. So I don't know. That's why I was like, that must have been a guardian angel. But come to find out, that was my father. My angelic father saved my life. Once again, intervention steps in because Lori Ann's gonna fail her mission. It's like, I live to fail my mission. Honestly, I'm like, was I trying to have that as my exit point by standing up? Because standing up, literally, I would have killed myself by accident. So it wouldn't have been a contemplated suicide. It would have been a by accident departure and exit point. So was I trying to go for that exit point? Was I going hard for that exit point to get the crap out of here? And my father was like, oh, honey, you staying. Set your ass down. Sit down. Lay down. Stay laid down in the street. Because, no, you ain't getting up. I ain't letting you get up. I ain't letting you exit this game now. So, thank you, my angelic father, angelic mother, guardians, guides, dragons, angelic. Thank you for keeping me here in this game. Oh, what? And then finding out about who spoke through my mouth with the guy standing in front of me with his penis out that was, convincing himself that he's about to rape my behind. And me, in my mind, preparing to fight for my life, I'm like, I'm going to grab that phone over there. I'm going to hit him because he had like a landline phone. I'm going to grab that phone. I'm going to hit him across the face with that. I'm ready for battle to defend myself from rape. But then these words was coming out of my mouth. And then I felt my consciousness move to the back of my head somewhere. Instead of my consciousness being me, it moved to a corner in the back of my head. I literally existed right here, somewhere inside my chrome dome. And the other consciousness flooded all of this hemisphere. The other consciousness was here. And I'm here. Like Dirty Dancing. You don't put baby in a corner. They put baby in a corner. And come to find out that my higher self said it was Archangel Gabriel put baby in a corner. Put my ass back here. It's like, listen, she about to take this mission and go off the rails. She's going to go off the rails in this mission. This guy's going to rape her. She's going to either die fighting this man and exit this game now, fail the mission, or she's going to kill him and set her whole life on a whole other path of criminal justice. Instead of being a criminal justice professional, she's going to be in a criminal justice situation. So, it seems like it was about to go completely apeshit off the rails. And Archangel Gabriel came, and it was nothing but love. It was love coming out my mouth. So I'm sitting back here, baby's in the corner, back here, and all this love is coming out my mouth, all these encouraging words. You don't want to do this to this. You don't want to do this to her, and all this love, 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 love. I really wish that somewhere I could have recorded every single word that came out I'm sure maybe in another regression, I could get to exactly what was said and have that on a recording, because it was phenomenal. It showed me the power of love. And the man put his member back in his pants, and he was totally apologetic to me, escorted me out his apartment, down the stairs, across the street, blessed me, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 and never saw him again. And he lived across the street. So I guess the universe said, you ain't even gonna look at her no more. You ain't even getting a second shot to defile that vessel. That vessel is doing something. That vessel is doing what we need that vessel to do, and we don't need you messing up her shit. So I'm like, okay. But with the words of love that was coming out of my mouth and everything, it kind of ties into what my higher self was talking about, that my mission here is to emit my love, is to emit this golden light, and to share it with people and with the energies here. And I'm to shield with that same love. That love that I emit is also my shield. So I'm to shield with it. And then it seems like there's talking about stuff in the ether. The thought forms here. The thought forms are always bombarding everyone, and they're bombarding me, but I guess my genetic template tends to absorb it more, since I'm an absorber and a transmuter, and I cleanse. I'm in the galactic eating shit. We're eating, not eaten, but we're absorbing and transmuting. And I guess in this incarnation as Lori now, I'm still like an absorber, transmuter kind of vessel. So that kind of makes sense, because I really am affected by high frequency and low frequency people, beings, places. I could be somewhere and be like, yo, do you feel how cold it is in here? And everybody's like, it feels fine in here. I was like, no, it is cold in here. There is something not right about this location. Let's get the out. It ain't right. Or certain individuals, like back in some of my other videos, I was talking about one of the people that I worked with, who was upper management, how when she came into a room for a meeting, the physical temperature dropped, and people was like holding themselves, paled out, getting paler and weaker and everything. I swear, looking back now, I think that was a reptilian being, because she was sucking the life out of them people. She was sucking the life. She wasn't sucking the life out of me, because I guess even then, even though I wasn't awoken then, I still automatically shielded from her, because I was able to identify that she was the cause of the temperature drop, like at least 5 degrees temperature drop in the room till it's like bone cold, from being absolutely normal, perfectly fine, to bone cold, and people physically reacting to that negative energy, I guess, sampling or siphoning or suctioning. Oh, and then to find out that the holding me down, like people say sleep paralysis, it wasn't sleep paralysis. That I knew. When that crap happened, I knew that was something supernatural, because first of all, the boyfriend was laying in the bed, he was asleep, TV's on, my daughter was in her crib, I put her down, I was wide awake, I was getting ready to watch TV, and I just got on the bed, scooted back, laid back on my pillow to get comfortable to watch TV, when I'm flat like a pancake. I'm being held down. I'm like, what the fuck? But before that force like sandwiched me down to the mattress, that maraca sound, that came through the house. Like, it sounded like it came from the front door straight through the living room to my bedroom. And that's when I was like pinned like a wrestler pins another wrestler, pinned to the point where not a muscle in my body could move. I couldn't move my lips. I couldn't ask for help from the boyfriend laying there. I couldn't get to my daughter to make sure she wasn't feeling the same sensation. All I could do was move my eyes and think. And the first thought that came to me was calling on the name of Jesus. And I simply said, Jesus, in my mind. And as soon as the name Jesus, that was gone. Off of me. Fuck out of here. Off of me. And I jumped up and I grabbed my daughter, and then I woke up the boyfriend. I'm like, listen, something just happened to me. We got to get the fuck out of here. I got to get my daughter out of here. I don't know what that was. It was not holy. It was supernatural. It was evil. It was holding me down. I don't know what the hell it wanted to do to me. It could have tried to kill me. For all I know, I couldn't even breathe. It was on me. And he's like, oh, you probably dreamt it. I was like, mofo, I was wide awake. You was asleep. My daughter was asleep. I was awake. I was just scooting back to watch some TV. Now that I could get peace and quiet because now she's sleeping, you're asleep. Now it's quiet. No, I was not asleep. You know? I'm like, I really can't stand when people try to tell you what you experienced when you know exactly what you experienced. But it was fascinating to find out that it was a reptilian attack. I didn't even know about reptilians then. I didn't know anything about a reptilian. I didn't know about any reptilians being in their craft, locating you through your frequency or maybe by the vibration of your energies blasting out there, unshielded. I wasn't shielded then. Unshielded, you just putting it all out there to the galactic and something's flying by like, oh, what's that? Yo, that's called a happy meal. Let's get some of that. Let's get some of that. So here it comes, you know. I don't even know. I can only imagine it's over the house, because I was in the basement of a private house then. It's over the house or it's up in the ether, and next thing you know, like a beam or an energy they push down on me to flatten me out, and then as I'm paralyzed, they're like just sucking it out of my soul or my auric field or whatever they do to get their energy off of us as a being, as a physical being. And I'm being held down, and my mind is like, what the hell is happening? You know? That it was reptilians and a craft over the house siphoning my energy. But by thinking the name of Jesus, it seemed that it provided a frequency boost, at least for me, and I'm sure for others that have encountered crazy shit like this. It provided a frequency boost. So calling on the name of Jesus, even if it's in your mind and not out your mouth, so it obviously doesn't have to be a verbal frequency. Sorry, that's my husky. He just gave me the shivers. Thor, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to back it down. I would have a dog named Thor. I think he's playing with one of his toys. But he went a little wolf on me there. But, so it seems like it doesn't have to be a verbal frequency to come out your mouth. So it doesn't have to be an aerial frequency. It could be a thought form. So a thought form of the name Jesus still creates a frequency that empowers your own personal frequency. It seems to rise up. And as your frequency rises up, that makes you inaccessible to lower frequency beings that are trying to drain you. So just by thinking the name of Jesus, that shot my resting frequency, once again, my husky, through the roof, and made me inedible. It made my energy inedible, incompatible immediately to what was attacking me. I think for next regression, I want to go more into that. I want to get on that craft. I want my consciousness to take me on that craft. I want to see the beings that were trying to siphon my energy. I want to know what they were doing prior to obviously picking up on my frequency. Were they like going all around the Bronx, looking, searching out frequencies, draining people, getting their energy, getting their jollies, getting their fucking kicks off? Was that what they was doing in our reality here? And where'd they come from? Are they from a bigger craft, a mothership? Are they from another planet? Are they from this planet? Is it something tied into a military type of thing? So I'm going to go a little deeper. I want to go a little harder and see if my subconscious can connect and let me know a little bit more about that attack. I need to know more about that attack and the beings that were responsible for that attack. It didn't seem like my daughter was attacked, but you never know. Oh, and then to find out the answer from my higher self into that dream that I had when my daughter was a little baby. I mean, she was only like about less than a month old. I had that dream about the Catholic, and this is in another one of my videos. You can find the full story, but it was, the Catholic priest. I looked through the peephole. It was a Catholic priest. He was there to tell me something or to warn me about something, and then he was killed by this gigantic clawed hand that just like literally ripped his throat out in front of the peephole. And then I'm like looking through the peephole. I'm like, Father, are you okay? And then the gigantic eye, like that big, with the yellow on each side of the dark slit, like the eye of Sauron or something like that, was looking at me, And I'm like, I didn't know what a reptilian was back then. I just saw a monster's eye. I was like, oh my God, And I ran from the door to go get my daughter to try to protect her because I didn't know if this thing was about to bust through the door. It just killed the priest. To find out that my higher self said that I was literally in the astral and I had taken my daughter with me. We were traveling in the astral and we were attacked in the astral. I can only assume it was an attack by reptilians. So it seems like reptilians like to fuck with my shit. They seem to like to want to fuck with my shit. So instead of me getting down to the lower levels of a reptilian and want to punch a reptilian in the face who wants to be non-benevolent, who wants to be siphoning shit, especially off of me or mine, because I'm from the Bronx, all I want to do is roll with it. But what I am going to continue to do is to raise that vibration up. So you don't even get to touch my shit. You don't even get to fuck with me because I'm going to be unfuckable because I'm going to be up here and your little lowly ass will be down here. And this is where you can stay and fuck with the people that want to stay down here. You want to mess with them. You want to siphon them. You want to, you want to take shit from them. You want to make babies with them. Go on and do you, boo. But I'm going to stay up here. I'm going to radiate my love. I'm going to listen to what myself said. I can be very hard-headed and stubborn, but when it comes out of my own mouth, I got to listen. So thank you for listening to this kind of little synopsis of the regression that I had in 2021, some of my views, my own commentary. There's still more things I have to explore, still information that I want to explore, especially about this angelic father and Pleiadian. I know Alyssa had said, well, Zoe said you was in Andromeda, and my higher self let her know, Pleiadian. My origins are Pleiadian, and I've gotten several confirmations of like an origin soul main location of the Pleiades around the Targeta sun or whatever like that. It's like a planet Lakota. I don't know if I've ever gone into that in the other videos. Maybe I'll share that information in another video soon. But yeah, Lakota is the planet that I guess one of my incarnations, or maybe one of my first humanoid incarnations was Lakota, more like a native person, what we would call a indigenous American here, more like a native person, long dark hair, feathers. My name was Charlena in that life, Charlena. And I was married and had children, and I was a medicine, I think it's called a medicine wheel dancer. I was a medicine wheel dancer, a healer, a teacher, all kinds of stuff. Very fascinating life. So I guess maybe in a regression, I might try to ask questions about that life as Charlena. That might also explain in a prior video when I talked about how I sent out a healing to my daughter in the middle of the night when I woke up to go to the bathroom, and I went to the kitchen. I was thinking about her, and next thing I know, my body was doing movements. I can't even emulate them, like movements, like tight movements of my hands, sigils, and all kinds of just all kinds of stuff was going on, and I wasn't in control of it. It wasn't me, or maybe it was my higher self, or maybe it was an angelic movement through me, or a dragon. I don't know, but somebody sent in information through my physical form, utilizing movements and fingers and all kinds of stuff to my daughter, and she felt it. She confirmed that she felt the energy go into her and helped to heal her. Got her out of that hospital when she was surrounded by vampiric people. Probably were reptilians. I don't know how many reptilians we got up on this joint. People say they're all gone. I mean, these are things that happened in the past. I don't have anything happening like now, so I don't know. Are they still here? Are their representatives still here? Can they still hit us in the etheric? I mean, they still on ships. Can they, still like fly over and try to suck us dry still? I don't know. All I can tell you is use your love, use your intelligence, keep your heart in a high heart status, try to keep your physical body, your etheric body, your mental body, try to stay in the higher elevations, to keep clear of, these low level, low life things that want to feed and cause problems and destructions in our realities. We do create our own reality, and I'm doing my best to do my mission here, which they said was just to be. So I'm to emit and emote and sending you guys much love right now and much energy and raising of the vibration. So, can we get a little... Let's do a clearing. And thank you for watching. It's been another interesting, for me, it's fascinating to find out what I've been doing and up to in the galactics. But thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Even more so if you decide to be a subscriber. I've got a lot more things to get out to you to discuss, and I want to start calling in beautiful souls that have more experiences to share and to share with you and me in this podcast. Well, thank you for watching. God bless you all. Namaste. Stay high vibing, and thank you for watching.